G'day everyone, it's Curtis here and welcome to an On The Back Wheel video. Today we're taking out the Aprilia Tuareg 660 for my first ride. Man, I am pumped to ride this thing. We're going to do a mix of on-road and off-road and some twisties. So come along and let's put this thing through its paces. For those new to the channel, my first ride impressions are very casual. Just me getting on the bike, going for a ride. It's going to be a great mix today. I'm just going to talk about it when I'm riding, and then at the end we'll do a bit of a wrap up. I'm going to be doing a ton more videos on this. I've got the bike for 2 weeks or more, so that gave me a good chance to do some videos and give a great review at the end. If you haven't, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any content on the Tuareg and help grow the channel so I can create more content like this. Alright, let's get stuck in. So before we head off, I'll just mention that this has some accessories on it. It's got a touring screen, it's got crash bars, a center stand, and pannier racks, which includes this big rack on the back. But yeah, just be aware that this isn't stock. It's set up more for touring, this model. It also has TKC 80s on it, which a bit more off-road orientated. It comes with, I think it's Aprilia STRs, which are not quite as off-road biased as this tyre. This one is the fancy coloured version. I'm going to try and pronounce it. It's Indico Tagelmust. I probably butchered it. Some people love the colour. It's growing on me. The paintwork is fantastic. I'm just not sure if it suits the lines of the bike as well as the black versions. Personally, I would buy a black version, but I still think it is a fantastic looking bike. Like, my wife actually had a look and went, "That's a nice looking bike." And if she says that, it must be really nice looking. All right. Ooh, hear that growl. Shoot through here. Oop. All right. So we are in Explore mode. There's a heaps of different modes. I'm not really going to talk about that much today. We'll go more in depth with that for my review. Today we're just going to go for a ride. So sitting on the bike, straight away, it feels completely natural. Like, I've ridden this bike 100 times. It's crazy. So I've only ridden this to dinner last night, which was like 15-20 minutes into town and back, and I already feel completely comfortable on this bike. There's something about the seat to bar to peg ratio just feels fantastic, and the bars are really nice shape too. They're reasonably wide. Yeah, man, they've done a great job with just the seating position, and the standing position, it feels fantastic. It feels so planted. The foot pegs, they feel really wide, but looking down, they're actually not that wide. But feel wise, just riding it, they feel like nice wide pegs. Oh, it's got a great sound to it. A really good sound to it. It sounds great. It really does sound great. It sounds slightly different to the RS660. So this has the same motor in it. Sounds slightly different. Definitely a different state of tune. What's this person doing right up my ass? I'm in a 70 zone, man. Chill out. Chill out. I'm talking. 6-speed box. Up and down feels fantastic on this. Hear that intake sound? I'm not sure if you can hear it through the bike, but it's got a nice growl to it. You can hear it like sucking in. It sounds fantastic. Gearbox, not a quick shifter, which riding last night I was like, what's going on here? I thought this would have a quick shifter. I believe it's a factory option. Point into this. Oh man, this thing feels fantastic. Goodness. So yeah, it doesn't have a quick shifter. I believe it's a factory accessory. I would put one on straight away. I feel like, I'm surprised it doesn't have one. Very surprised. Downshifts feel good. Throttle feels good. So this has got ride by wire, and for people who haven't ridden one, they may feel a little bit fluffy initially off bottom. You get used to it straight away though, like very quickly. There's no lurching or anything too, it's completely linear and smooth. Alright, we're sitting on 80 kilometers per hour, 5th gear, not getting any buffeting, a little bit of noise when I put my head up. When I duck it down just a tiny bit, it's pretty well gone. Yeah, when I tilt my head forward, it's pretty well gone. Okay, this bike feels really balanced and neutral. And light, it feels light. So everything's just set at the stock settings, including the suspension. It's all adjustable, both front and rear. I will play with that over the time I have the bike, but at the moment I'm just going to leave everything stock, including all the engine maps. Just going to leave them stock. We're currently in Explore mode. No one's behind me. Let's have a look. You just hit this button here, I found out. Then there's Urban, Off-Road, which disables the rear ABS straight away. Individual, which is all like modifiable, and we'll just put it back in Explore. 3rd gear chugging. That's dead smooth, dead smooth. One really cool thing I found is traction control. So let's go traction control. There you can see it there, it's on 3. You sit up and down here, automatically changes it. So good, very cool. Alright, we're gonna go up here, the Go track, which is like a gravel dirt road, and we'll have a bit of a play. And a second slow speed. Ooh, got a bit of shove. 2nd gear roll on. Okay, goes pretty well. And then we're going to gravel. Alright, let's see how the traction control handles gravel. Let's put this up. We'll visor it down. Alright, it's definitely limiting it. Okay, let's turn it down. I don't like it that intrusive. Right, that's pretty good there. Since we are off-road, change it to, put that back to how I use it, and then Urban, off-road. So rear ABS has been disabled. Cool. And I don't know what else it's done. We'll have to read into that. Alright, let's have a little play. Take off. See how it... Oh, that's going much better. I don't know what it did, but it feels way better. Alright, rear sliding out. 2nd gear, slow speed. Punch it. Let's give it a good bit of play. Oh, that's nice. That was a traction control on 1, and it was given a good amount of slip and wasn't too intrusive, but definitely you could tell it was on. You could kind of feed it and slide out a bit. Shoot up here. Try and remember where we're going to go. Not there. Must be up here. Okay. So it gives you a bit of a wheelie, but then it stops it. It's a nice B road, this. Oh, suspension feels fantastic on the road. Reasonably firm, but not uncomfortable. So this is a bit more of an off-roady section, still just a dirt track, but it's got some erosion mats and stuff in memory. I've only ridden it once. Super keen to see how this performs. I rode my KLR on it at that time. Little jump. Got a washout. Muddy. That was a big hit. Yeah, center stand. Don't like it. It's hitting. Just those 2 jumps in. Tell you what, the handling feels fantastic though. Look at Tesla on a dirt road. It's official, this is a nice bike, everyone. So I noticed on those couple of small jumps then, The center stand was banging down. I thought in the first one, I thought, oh, is that bottoming out? No, it's the center stand hitting. So if you're getting that accessory, that's going to do that. So let's do that again. Reverse. With traction control off. Go back up. Thank you. She waved. Fistful. Motor is incredibly linear. Not as punchy as a T7 down low and in the mid-range, but maybe a little bit more pull up top and just a little bit more linear all round. What's Mr. Tesla doing? He should be going that way on the road, not that way. Alright, let's do that section but downhill. See how the suspension performs. Man, so far the suspension is pretty spot on. I haven't even touched it. It is plush yet smooth at the same time. Oh. Ooh. Right, here's a bigger one. Oh my goodness, this suspension is legit. What? Okay, that suspension is fantastic. It's like supple and firm at the same time. Yeah, wow, that's great. I couldn't be more impressed by that. Woo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Shall we go a bit faster? Should we, everyone? Yeah, I think so. Eyes are down. Tree root powers through. Jump. Another jump. Feeds it. Oh man, this is good. Whoa, man, that was legit. Woo. I was just worried about the center stand, but then when I hit it that bit harder and kept powering through the jumps and power out of them, the center stand wasn't blotting me out. Far out. That was a wheelie. I thought it was going to stop it. Oh man, this is a nice bike. Woo! Well, let's go to 100. A little bit of wind blast, but it's not uncomfortable. Yeah, it's not uncomfortable at all. Could use a slight lip maybe for me. It's hitting me right on my visor, my adventure bike visor. It's pretty bloody good. Still some mid-speed corners, flowy. Feels incredible. This thing feels so good in the corners. Nice long sleeping bend. Oh yeah, this is nice. Okay, let's do some twisties on the way home. Steep climb, that's what we want to see. These twisties down Mount Glorious here. Then we'll do a bit of a wrap up. Down a second. Brakes, nice and smooth. Ride the rear brake through the corner. Flop is very good to change direction. Sharp corner, down a second. Probably hit first if I really wanted. Second's nice. Traction control, a little bit of kick in. This is on knobbies, by the way. TKC 80s. Okay, it handles great. Yeah. The brakes are nice and strong too. Does this thing do anything wrong? Oh, this thing is a good bike. This is only my first proper ride, and you could just tell this is a good bike. Alright, we'll pull up and do a bit of a wrap up. Well, let's wrap things up for my first ride impressions on the Aprilia Tuareg 660. I have nothing but positive things to say about this bike so far. I cannot wait to ride this bike more. Engine super smooth and linear, fast off-road. Suspension is legit. Like, that was only a short ride, but off-road it was spot on. I haven't even touched any clickers. The balance of the bike is probably the biggest thing I like so far. It's very neutral feeling, yet flickable and stable. They have done a bang up job on this bike. I cannot wait to ride it some more. During the time I've got the bike, I'm going to change the suspension and tweak that for my style of riding. I'm going to go through all the different engine map settings and change them as well. There's an individual map, so I'm keen to play with that. And just put a ton of Ks on it and do a wide variety of riding. As you should know by now that I love to ride off-road, put bikes through the paces. I really enjoy that style of riding. But I'm also going to do some commuting and some larger adventure rides on this. I'm really looking forward to putting this bike through its paces. If you have any questions about the bike, put it in the comments down below. I will be doing a separate Q&A video. I think there's going to be a lot of questions on this bike. There's already been a ton. So I'll do a separate Q&A video where I'll just sit down and answer your questions about the bike. So make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any content on the Aprilia Tuareg 660 and future content from me. In the meantime, keep it on the back wheel, people.